What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm your host with the most. I'm your host, Dropping Dimes, aka the Hopeful Romantic, aka the feminist who show his tendencies. And I want to welcome you tonight to another episode of the Hopeless Romantic M.A.N podcast. Well, the first part of the holidays just passed. And I was thinking, man, I have a lot on my mind. I got a lot going on, but I always want to take the time to be grateful and to really appreciate what this time of year means. Um, my best way to do that is through a story. I hope hope you capture it and absorb what it is. It's one of those chew the meat, spit out the bone type of things where you get what you can from it, and I hope you're able to get something. This story is called "The White Spot on the Black Wall," the black spot on the white wall. Sorry, it's called the black spot on the white wall. There was a guy. He had a wall in his house, and he decided to paint it all white. So he got the paint out, he got everything out. It was very tedious in the way he worked. And he decided, okay, cool, I'm going to paint this wall. He started to paint the wall. And right when he was about to finish, he ran out of paint. And when he ran out of paint, he left what would be considered a quarter size patch on the lower left side of the wall. A spot on the wall where you wouldn't really tell it's there unless you went looking for it. And every day people would come to the house and they would see the white wall. And they would tell him, wow, that's beautiful, man. You did a great job. That wall looks amazing. Yo, man, wow, you did a great job. And every single time he would point out the quarter size patch on the bottom left part of the wall that stood out. Sometimes the people would back up and be like, oh, wow, I didn't even notice it was there. And day after day, every time somebody would come and compliment him, he loved pointing at the little black spot, the quarter size black spot on the wall. It wasn't until one day a little boy walked into the house and said, oh, wow, that wall looks so nice. You did a great job. You did a great job. It looks amazing. And the old man pointed out, once again, the small spot, the quarter size spot. And the little boy said, yeah, but the whole wall is so white and so beautiful. Why would you point at that little spot? Ladies and gentlemen, too often in our lives, we all have something going on. We all have drama. We all have problems. We have stress. We have all these things. But the truth be told, all our problems just represent a small spot on that white wall. And the truth is, it's all about where we choose to put our energy, where we put our concentration. Do we concentrate on that small little spot? Or do we concentrate on the fact that the entire wall is white and we did a great job and we took our time? You concentrate on the issues you have going on in your life, or do you look at the big picture and realize how many beautiful things you have around you? Whether it's family, whether it's your health, whether it's a job, or the fact that you have food on the table, whether it's a relationship, whether it's the fact that God got you out of a relationship. There's so much to be grateful for. And I hope that during this time, everybody took the opportunity, when you're eating that beni or munching down on that baked ziti. I hope you really took the time to reflect
and understand that more people are praying for you. More people are rooting for you. Nobody's hating on you, man. Nobody lives a life like that where they care enough about what you got going on. You know, uh, we often think that people are hating on us. They don't want us to see us live. They don't want us to see us be successful. Yo, truth be told, I got so much on my plate. I got so much going on. I got so much that I have to handle and take care of on a daily basis that I don't really think about other people until they say something or until I'm in front of them and we're having a conversation about something. For the most part, I keep it pushing. I keep it moving. As a matter of fact, I usually end after, I hope they're doing good. All right, keep it moving. I'm never thinking about, I hope they fail. I want them to good. Lord knows we're too busy with our kids. We're too busy doing everyday stuff. We're too busy going to work, getting stuck in traffic. We're too busy figuring out what we need for dinner. Did the kids get to their recreation? Did they get to their soccer game? Did they get to their sports? Nobody has time to be hating on people. I don't know where that narrative ever came up. Oh, people just don't want us. Nobody cares. Guys, trust me. If you want to know if somebody cares about you, if you want to know how closely somebody's watching you, have you ever asked somebody, "Oh yeah, I posted it on my Facebook page," and they look at you like, "Oh, well, okay, I didn't see it." Nobody's looking at that page. Nobody's stalking you. Nobody's paying attention that close. Nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean. We have this thing with this fantasy where people are actually watching us. I promise you, most people see your white wall, and that's all they see. They never notice the black spots. They don't care enough. You know what I mean? And I ask you, especially during these special times, Christmas, the holidays, or whatever you celebrate, take the time to concentrate on that white wall, man. Take it for somebody who's been through hell and back, somebody whose health is taking a turn for the worst, and been down those dark paths where I've had to literally, what do you call it? Walk through the valley of death and fear no evil. I've been there. That's real. And a lot of people would testify on my behalf. If I could look around and tell you that my wall is white, trust me, you can too. You know what I mean? You got to think about it like this, man. Yeah, okay, you're going through some health shit, but you know what? You still got those beautiful kids. You still got that amazing spouse, or you still have that mom, or you still have that brother and sister. You still have those friends. You still have. There's so much to still be grateful for. I mean, I'm just touching the tip of the iceberg. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie to you guys, man. And this happens to me a lot. This happens to me a lot. I woke up, I want to say Christmas morning, feeling like blah. Like, man, this Christmas, there's not a lot of young babies in my household. So it's all adults. We don't really it's not a big deal to us. We're not getting dressed in pajamas and having fun. It's really let's get together, have some dinner, chill out. And I woke up feeling blah. That's the best way I could describe it. I felt like just wasn't into it. I had a lot going on. Yo, and I don't know where my day turned or what happened, but at some point I made the decision to count my blessings. I might have read like an old Facebook post of mine where I wrote something positive. And I literally decided, at this moment, Mike, you got friends, you got family, you got people who genuinely love you and care about you. You know what? Life could be better, but it's pretty damn good. You're walking in your why. You're doing things that you've dreamed of. You're working on projects that you've always wanted to. You know what I mean? There's people that are stuck in 9 to 5 jobs that have to work those jobs, and you have the ability to work and do things right now that you've always wanted to do. Mike, you have a beautiful daughter. You have an awesome new dog. You have a beautiful place to live. That's chill. That you're decorating. That you're fixing. That you're putting together yourself. You know what I'm saying? That you're putting together, making sure that it's a home. There's so much going on. You have a mom that's alive, that's pushing, that's there for you, that loves you, that cares about you. You have three sisters that just ride and die for you, that love you to death. You know what I mean? You have friends that check up on you, that you can call at the drop of a dime. You got guys that are no longer friends, they're brothers that you can count on and talk to and share, be vulnerable with. There's so much to be grateful for. I literally lost count, and it actually made me smile. Because if I could lose count of what's beautiful in my life, it definitely outweighs what's bad. You know, I always close out like Facebook posts and stuff like that where I say, may this message find your glass half full. I know mine is. So it all stems from the, is your glass half full or is it half empty? How do you look at life? And I hope that all of you take the time to look at life and really appreciate how it's half full, how it's all better than it is bad. And I promise you mine is. And mine is because of the people that are in my life. Some of you out there that listen and pay attention are part of the reason why my life is amazing and why I can keep a smile on my face through the storm. So thank you. Thank you very much. I hope this holiday season really brought that part out of, and all of you got that from people. All of you were able to look at each other and say, I love you one last time. Yo, time is not promised, man. They say the biggest mistake is we think we have time. The biggest mistake we make is we think we have time. We think we can wait till tomorrow to say what we need to say today. We think we have another moment and that, okay, tomorrow I'll make that dream come true. Tomorrow I'll work on that. It's not promised, man. I've had some loss in the last year that was devastating and really opened my eyes to the fact that, you know what, tomorrow is not promised. Say, I love you. My male friend, every one of my male friends, every guy that I know, every friend of mine can tell you that when I hung up, love you, bro. I love you, bro. And it's not no bullshit like, oh, I'm just saying it to say it. It's I love you, bro, because I want you to know that while you're here, while we're here together, that I appreciate your friendship and that I love you. I genuinely love you as a person. You're a great human being and you definitely add to my life. That's how I close my phone calls with my boys. Same thing with women in my life. Hey, love you. No problem. Love you. Cool. So now I'm moving on. There's so much to talk about, man. Um, I really want to dive into the manosphere. I got a text, a DM from a friend of mine because I quoted or I might have put up a story of one of these guys that's considered part of the manosphere. Andrew Tate, Top G, King Cobra, whatever they call him. I put it up and he was saying some things. And at face value, they were very misogynistic. They were very misogynistic. And she was like, you should take that down. I can't believe that guy. And dot, 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 dot. And I had to back up and I had to say to myself, no, there was a reason why I put it up there. The reason why I put it up there is because this man is necessary. He's necessary. What do I mean by that? There's groups of guys that have been devastated by women that they love. There's groups of guys that were friend zoned, groups of guys that were used, groups of guys that were simped out. They were treated less than because they were too nice. Oh, he's too nice. I'm sure all of you have heard that. He's too nice. Oh my God, he's too nice. And those too nice guys, they usually get the shit out of the stick. So in a very exaggerated way, what this man Andrew is saying is you need to start dating from a position of power. Now, granted, he's talking about a small population of men. He's talking directly about a small population of men about a small population of women. I always refer to the bell curve. I'm a believer in it. I'm a believer that there's the lower end where guys are really nice, really sweet, and women are taking advantage of them. And they're treating them like shit, and they're using them, they're stepping all over them. But somewhere in the middle, here's the curve, it goes up. And in the middle are the people that live every day. They meet someone, they're nice, they're good to them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There is no offset power dynamic where one person's weak and one person's strong and one person's hurting somebody and the other one just getting hurt. No, it's a balance of I meet you, I like you, I didn't like you. It's very normal, very, very clean, very healthy. And then on the bottom right hand side of that same belt is the womanizer, the guy that, he treats every woman like a drug. And once she stops being able to get him high, he moves on to the next woman. And he keeps moving on to the next woman. And he doesn't value what you bring to the table. He doesn't look at you as a source of love. He looks at you as a resource. Over here on this end, on the bottom end, women are drugs, not vitamins. And that's how they're used. So what I like to address is, why does this guy exist? Why does he exist? He exists because on the bottom left end are those really nice guys that got hurt. I'll tell you how it goes. A guy goes, meets a beautiful young lady, and says, I'm going to be vulnerable with this woman. I'm going to open up. I'm going to tell her what my fears are. I'm going to show her a side of me that I hide from the world. And when he did that, that woman looked at him and said, oh, you're acting like a bitch. I need you to man up. The shock that hit him with. He went into shock and he said, oh my God, I am never going to show that side of me to anyone ever again. I'm going to grab that scared, that weak, that vulnerable guy, and I'm going to shove him deep down into the darkness of me and never show him to anyone else. Because I refuse to ever feel how that woman made me feel. That shit hurt to no end. So that's what men do. Men literally grab that feeling and emotion, shove it to the bottom of their stomach, all the way to the back where nobody could ever see it or touch it. Then all of a sudden, the new persona comes up, because now that makes them want to turn cold. Because now they can't ever be vulnerable, they can't ever be soft. They said, you know what? I'm switching up. I'm going the other way. And that gives birth to the Andrew Tates. It gives birth to the Kevin Samuels. It gives birth to the Donovan Sharps. That's where that comes from. That comes from, it didn't come out of nowhere where guys just decided to be assholes and that's it, and this is how they're going to treat women. That's not what happened. It came from a place. Something happened. And when it happened, the men said never again. And when they said never again, they created these personas. These personas that wouldn't fall for the pain. They wouldn't fall for that nonsense. They're going to be strong. They're going to be tough. You know what I mean? Well, lost in the message of Andrew Tate, I think it gets lost as misogynistic. It gets lost as, how do you treat women, and that's not right. But I think there's one message that's lost, and I think it's the most important one. That he tries to put out. The most important one that he tries to put out is teaching these young men to make themselves undeniable. I talk about that all the time. Make yourself undeniable. That weakness, that vulnerability, they're not the same thing. Your weaknesses are areas in your life that need work. Here's the thing, right? The sad part is you know when you're broke, you know when your living situation is not right, you know when your car situation is not right, you know when your mental health is off. You know this. So there's no secret, right? That women don't respect a man who doesn't have it together. You know what I mean? And you know you don't have it together. So it's not like you're approaching these women knowing that they should have accepted me for what. No, you knew. And what they're telling you is in the future, why don't you get it together first? Work on yourself first. I always talk about the spiritual, financial, emotional, physical. Work on those things first. Get it together. Be 100%. That way, when these women come into your life, you're what you call undeniable. I was talking to someone today. We were talking about how the highest level of game is honesty. The highest level of game is honesty. What does that mean? It means that you have it together. You're on point. Your finances are right. You're living an amazing lifestyle. So when a woman comes into your life, now you could set standards and rules and boundaries. When you have no power, when you have no position, you can't do that. But if you come in position, now you could be honest and look at her and say, hey, look, this is the life that I'm leading. This is what I have going on. Do you want to be a part of this? And the beauty of it is you give the person the power to say yes or no. Give the person the power to say yes or no. That's invaluable. Because when somebody says yes, they have to take responsibility for that yes. So if you tell them, hey, look, my lifestyle is I date a lot of women. I work. I'll be here for you, whatever you need. But I'm not a man that's going to be with one woman. But you're honest about it, and they see that he's got his shit together, and he can do that. He can live that lifestyle. You're not going to go to a woman and be like, hey, look, you're not enough. I need to be able to see several women and live with your mother. Oh, I can't be with you. I need to be able to and be Chevrolet-legging it everywhere you go. Talking about I got a Lexus. No, brother, you're walking. A woman won't respect that. But if you go to her and you have it together, hey, listen, this is where I'm at in life. This is what I'm doing. And you present it, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised with these new age women, what they're willing to say yes to. Hey, some of them don't want the burden of a relationship. They like being something casual. You don't know how many women I've talked to just recently that are down for a throuple, as long as all the parties are honest and open. And they say, yeah, I wouldn't mind it as long as we're all open. I'm into girls, I'm into guys. You know what I mean? There's plenty of people that I've had a conversation with that are open for that. So you'll be surprised. But the key is to be honest. Tell the truth. And in nothing that these guys talk about, and I've reviewed it, I've combed it, not one of these guys have ever told another guy in the manosphere of giving advice have they told him to lie. Never once. Not Kevin Samuel, not Donovan Sharp, not what do you call it? Not the Fresh and Fit podcast, not Andrew Tate. Nobody has ever told them another man to lie. What they've told them is make yourself undeniable so that when you put your truth out there, they have to choose. And if they choose yes, perfect. And if they choose no, that's okay. There's plenty of people out there. There's plenty of women out there that will. So move away. Don't be stressed. That's the other thing. And I don't see anything wrong with that either. They're trying to tell these men, hey, listen, she's not the only one. She's not the last one. She's not the only one, the best one that's ever going to come your way. There's more out there. I don't think that's bad advice. I don't think it's bad advice, especially because I've seen men devastated for years off of a breakup. And their thing is, sure, I'll never find someone else like them. No, this is where that manosphere comes in handy because it's simply not true. Yeah, you know what? You may find a unique soul. You may find a woman that's really unique, man. One in a lifetime, not even one in a million, one in a lifetime. And she feels perfect because she was perfect for you during that time, that season in your life. The truth is, as the seasons pass, that same woman might not even fit in your new story. I always say, man, when a guy's stressing out over an ex or a woman that he was with, yeah, she was amazing. She was beautiful, but she's also a lot like that star in the sky. You look up and you see a star in the sky, right? You see how beautiful, how shiny it is, how amazing. Wow, that star is gorgeous. I love that star. Not understanding that that star is hundreds of light years away. That by the time the light from that star gets to your eye, that star probably doesn't even exist anymore. Well, brother, that memory that you have of your ex, that you're thinking about, that you're stressed about, there's a good chance that person doesn't exist anymore. They've moved on to the new season of their life, and they're a whole new person. So the memories that you have and the wishing that you do and the thinking that you do, you're doing it based on something that doesn't exist anymore. But once again, another topic that the manosphere helps you with. See, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to explain that you have to chew the meat and spit out the bones when it comes to listen to these guys. There's a group of men that are really being helped. There's a group of guys that are victims out here that have been pushed around, prodded, used, abused by women. You know, we're so used to talking about the male-dominated society where we talk about men, how they use women, they cheat, and they move, and how they treat women, and we're always addressing that. There's a dark, dark tunnel to a place where men are the ones getting walked over all the time. And I think that's where these guys come in and they help. I think that's where these guys come in and they help. You know. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to touch on that. I want to move on. I want to talk about my letter from the inbox. Let me see if I can get it for you guys. Letter from the inbox. Okay, here we go. Okay, you're dropping dimes. Yo, dropping dimes. Check this out. Went with this girl I've been dating for 4 months to the casino. I told her let's play some slots and have a drink. She starts complaining how that's not a date and that she doesn't have money for slots. So I say, cool. I gave her $100 and said, have a seat next to me. She's playing a really slow 25 cents at a time. I reach over and playfully press max bet, and she hits for $1,800 jackpot. As the night goes on, I see I'm still paying for drinks and food. So I called her out. She got offended that I would even mention her money. That I would even mention her money. Yo, am I wrong for cutting this chick off? Yo, listen, man. There's so many layers to this. Number one, I'm going to say this. You dodged the bullet. All right, you dodged the bullet. Just because by nature you want a woman that's going to be your piece. You want a woman that's gonna look at you, and if she values you and values your situation, say, Okay, cool, man. How does this situation benefit the both of us? How do we grow from this? Now you're just dating. It's just 4 months, so she might not like you, and she might just be like, "Well, hey, he got me the 100. He paid for it. Oh well," because she doesn't like you. But let's assume she does like you. Let's assume she does like you, my man. Anything you give in a relationship, right? You give from your heart. You shouldn't give with expectation. You shouldn't give with expectation. You should give it, and whatever the consequences or whatever happens from that giving, hey, that's what it is. So you gave her the 100, you played, she hit, cool. She got that 1,800. You're still on the date. You still got to act like, hey, man, nothing happened. But even though you're thinking that, I wouldn't go out with her again. Let her take that little 1,800, right? And what she didn't realize is that, at least she was dating me, that 1,800 is a drop in the bucket of what she would have gotten if she would have treated me right. She's playing the short game, the quick money short game. She thinks she won. And the truth is, no, she hasn't. She doesn't realize how much money she left on the table. You know what I mean? She has not realized how much money she left on the table. One day, you're going to find a woman, and what she's going to do is she's going to win that 1,800. She's going to look at you and say, oh, okay, cool. You know, even if she doesn't give you any money, she might take over the drinks, might take over the date. Yeah, that's the one you hold on to. So don't stress this. Don't stress this. I know you're feeling like, damn, on my $1,800, this chick just did me dirty, didn't even give me. Nah, you can't think like that. The money you took on the date, the money you spent on her was money you were going to spend anyway. You were trying to get the draws. You know that's what you were trying to do. And it worked out this way. It screams that she didn't like you. It screams that she didn't like you. You know what I mean? Because, again, a woman that likes you, that wants to be with you, that cares about you, moves different. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, that little 1,800 becomes, yo, let's even if it's let's play with like one or two to buy you drinks, to maybe play a little game. You know what I mean? To do something cool. So you dodge the bullet. Don't sweat that. Don't sweat that. Walk away. I mean, again, I know in your head you're probably like, damn, man, that could have been my 1,800. But don't sweat it, man. Unfortunately, you know, I hope you got what you were looking for. You know, I hope the date didn't end there and you were able to close the deal. But if you weren't, now you know. Now you know. Well, at least, like I said, you dodged the bullet. Don't go out with her again. She's not somebody that either really into you or she's not somebody that would open your door. I don't know if you've ever seen The Bronx Tale with Sonny's advice. Well, I'm not sure she's the type of girl that would open your door. Meaning there's no reciprocity. You know, you want that exchange of energy. I don't think they have that exchange of energy. She's not gonna reciprocate and give you back what you're putting in. So you're probably better off just moving on. You know? Just move on. All right, let's go on to the next. It's gonna be a short show today. It's not gonna be very long. I just want to make sure I go over. I got a couple of these pretty good ones. Okay, Dear Dropping Dimes. Again, I'm just reading what they wrote. I'm not, you know, it's not my words. Dear Dropping Dimes. My girlfriend's BFF is a hoe. I can't stand her ass. Not stable in her life, always trying to give advice type chick. Well, she posted some pics on IG on a balcony in Miami. It's a recognizable spot where porn is filmed. How do I know? My best friend's brother owns the company, and I'm a fan. The other day, this B was in my house talking about she gets money and how she needs to leave me because I can't afford to buy her bags and shit. Mind you, I pay over 65% of the bills in this house. My question is, should I out this hoe or should I just let her keep talking? Yo, this is hilarious. All right, so check this out. It's funny you talking about. I know exactly where that balcony is. Yeah, she's doing porn. Yo, check this out, man. Your girl knows her BFF is all. There's no secret there. I don't know what you're gonna out her on. Trust me, she knows exactly. She may be playing stupid with you because she knows it, it's an area of insecurity. But she 100% knows her best friend's a hoe. What girl doesn't know that her best friend's a hoe? You know it. You just love her anyway. That's how it goes. It's girl code, I guess. Um, Here's the deal. If your girl is letting that mentality infiltrate her, that's a separate conversation you need to have with your girl. Because the chances are she's feeling like that already. And her best friend is the one just voicing the issue, just kind of putting it out in front of you. But that sounds like a conversation her and her girl have already had, where your girlfriend is the one complaining. See, a lot of times the BFF is the voice, and she's the one that says everything that the girl really wants to say but can't. You know what I mean? So to me, it sounds like your girl's the one with the issue, and that 65% might be running a little low on her end. You know what I mean? Maybe she wants more, needs more, maybe feels overwhelmed, whatever it may be. But it sounds like those are her feelings. And I would politely pull it to the side and be like, we need to talk. I need to have this conversation with you. Whatever you do, do not attack the best friend. That is the quickest way to get you into the doghouse. It's the quickest way to make you look like an asshole. It's the quickest way to make you look like the bad guy. That's the mistake we make. We take the focus off of the main thing. The main thing is how your girl is really feeling. It's not her nosy BFF. It's not her gossiping BFF. It's not her braggadocious BFF. It's her. Because there's a conversation that you were not privy to that happened behind closed doors. There was a conversation that happened behind closed doors when you weren't around, and those words were spoken about how she's tired, about you don't cover your end, you don't pay enough, you don't do enough. She wants vacation, she wants bags. There's a conversation that happened out there. And you, my friend, are going to go after the best friend, curse her out, and be pissed and be mad, and I'm being no. That's the quick, easy solution, my boy. That's the quick, easy way. And guess what? Again, nothing gets you into the doghouse. Nothing gets you, nothing gets you into the doghouse. Nothing gets you looking like a jerk, looking like the bad guy quicker than doing it that way. The conversation should go more like this. Maybe over some pillow talk or just you and her. You'll be like, yo, man, this girl makes a lot of money. I mean, how do you feel about that? Like that she doesn't do it, she does it. Oh, I don't care. Da, 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 da. And then you could approach her and say some stuff like, like if I went out and I did some wild shit, like to make that little extra money, how would you feel? What would you think? Just kind of prod, just kind of toss it out there, softball it to her. She might shut you down right away, but hopefully she opens up and kind of just shares with you, like, that's her business. It's not me. I don't want that. And, ask her, be like, hey, I work really hard. Like, is there anything more I could do? Do you think I could, and put it out there to see if she takes the bait and says, yeah, or she just kind of goes with it. That's the best I can tell you. But number one, don't go after the best friend. You're going to lose. That doesn't work. Yeah, at best, maybe she creates some distance between her and her best friend. But you know what she doesn't create distance from? How she's really feeling. Those feelings are still there. They're hers. So don't fall for that. You know what I mean? That's my advice to you, man. I hope that helps. Don't go don't go down that road. It never ends well for you. It never ends well for you. So now I'm just gonna close the show out. I definitely wanted to get on here and I wanted to give that initial message about how grateful I am and how lucky. These are the good old days, man. I always tell people you don't talk about. There's no destination that you get to where you talk about this happy place. No, You always go back and talk about the hard times. Hey, you remember when we had to? You remember when I was just, man, we didn't even have, or we didn't do. I just hope that people feel grateful. Trust me, I know, man. There's cancer. There's all kinds of diseases. There's your life, the pain that you're in on a daily basis. You know what I mean? There's drama, there's money, there's all kinds of issues that you could be having. But I promise you, take the time to count your blessings. Take the time to look around and count the people who love you. Even tough love. Sometimes tough love is the best kind of love. So count them too. You know what I mean? Sit back on your couch, hug up with your children, grab your dog, hug up with your dog, your cat, whatever it is, but enjoy the little simple moments. That's what it's all about. I hope you enjoyed our conversation about the manosphere, how it's a necessary evil these day and age, how a lot of it is the lifeline to a lot of the guys that were hurt. And it's their way of kind of bouncing back. Is it the most healthy way? I'm not saying it's the most healthy way, but it's their way of bouncing back. It's their way of really resolving the hurt and becoming the best they can be. Now, these guys, what they have to do is they have to learn to love themselves. Because once they love themselves, they'll truly understand the power that they possess. They'll truly understand the power of being undeniable. They will no longer ask women what they bring to the table. They'll fall in love and the woman becomes the table. She becomes their muse. She becomes their inspiration to do more, to do greater. See, a woman shouldn't be your inspiration to do and be great. Right? She should be your inspiration to go above and beyond greatness, to do more. You know what I'm saying? If on a regular day you reach the moon, she should be your reason to reach for the stars. That's what a good woman brings to your life. She brings that extra push, that extra inspiration. She helps you find words that describe things in a beautiful way. She helps you write that song. She's that inspiration behind that song. Woman, they bring a smile to your face. They bring a warmth to your heart. There's been wars fought over them. There's been poems written about them. There's been songs. You name it. Women are known as the great motivator. A good woman is a vitamin, not a drug. When she's a drug, it's a lot of times because you don't love yourself. You're using her to get high temporarily, to fill that void you can't fill for yourself. And then when she could no longer fill that void, you pass her off and find the next drug, the next high. In an endless cycle of addiction. Addiction to that rush. Addiction to that band-aid on emotions that need stitches. I could only hope that you heal and seal that hole from within so that one day you find your muse, you find your inspiration, you find that vitamin. I'm going to close out by telling you, man, guys, I hope you all find that pink starburst. I hope you all find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I hope you all find that winning lottery ticket because I promise you there's nothing like it. In the words of Maya Angelou, have the courage to trust love one more time and always one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Hopeful Romantic M.A.N podcast. I'm your host, Dropping Dimes, a.k.a. the Hopeful Romantic, a.k.a. the feminist with chauvinist tendencies. They say the two most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you discover why. Thank you. Happy holidays. I love you all. But most of all, thank you for helping me walk in my why. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.